we might start seeing those lows drift even further down. So.
I'm actually really excited. So, like, is it around average for us to have, like, lows this low this time of year?
Actually, not really. Our average low is 58 degrees. That you're going to see that on the almanac later on throughout the show. However, 58 degrees, so we're seeing around a 10-degree dip, possibly even more. And our average high is only 82, and we might not even see the 80s for the next 3 or 4 days.
I'm excited. I love the cold.
Yes.
I absolutely love the cold.
Being from South Florida, I can understand why we love the cold air, especially because warm air has been staying a little too long. The past 2 years, it's not been like that.
So once the cold front passes, we're going to have drier, colder air, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's finally going to feel like winter, not so much summerish kind of conditions.
That means not heat or humidity, so both of those factors are going to be pushed aside as winter slowly starts to show its face.
Oh, wow. This sounds good to me, actually.
Alrighty then.
But we're going to start off with the overview. Headlines for right now, showers for tomorrow, guys. Sorry, but it's true. You're going to have to bring those umbrellas. Those showers will be here, and it'll be just keeping us wet and moist and not the greatest. But Wednesday comes around, mid-week cool down. Look forward to that cold air. And the weekend, absolutely gorgeous for that NC State game, guys. So I suggest you get excited. Satellite and radar around the area right now, there is just stationary front hanging out over the southeast, bringing us that rain, those muggy conditions. Texas just getting inundated with rain right now. And the northeast around the Great Lakes region actually getting some snow. So it's finally winter for them. I'm pretty sure they're excited. Here, zooming into the southeast a little bit more, you can see there's some showers over the peninsula of Florida, around Orlando area. They're getting some rain, but they're kind of used to that, aren't they? And we're getting rain here as well. For tonight, though, look at that, 65. Chance of rain, 30%, so there is that chance of rain tonight. And into tomorrow, the clouds will increase. It'll be cool and muggy, and I bet you that we're not going to be enjoying that rain that much, but that's something that's a little bit unavoidable, don't you think?
Yes, with the passage of cold fronts, you'll often see those sheets of rainfall and those severe thunderstorms likely, but afterwards, it's a nice pleasant feeling.
That is very, very true. It's not something that we're not going to, like, hate or anything, right?
Yes. Especially with the cold fronts, when these start reaching Florida, that means winter is on its way. And the winter outlook for much of the U.S., it's actually going to be looking moderate to a little above average for most of the country.
Wow, moderate winter. So not that cold, not that hot, just kind of average.
Yes, explains probably why we've been getting this late start to our winter compared to the last 2 years. The only cold spot, believe it or not, is expected to be, well, cold. It's going to be cold regardless, but the colder than average spot will be around Maine and extreme northeast New England.
But they're used to that, aren't they? Yeah, so we're not that lucky this year, but can't complain with the cooler temperatures at all. But we're going to send it out to Jason with the first local.
Thanks, Tawana. In the past couple of days, we saw that rain into Saturday. Sunday, we saw a slight clear out. Clouds begin to disperse a little. Well, today, though, we're seeing more the same pattern we saw into last Friday and Saturday. Temperatures, though, sitting around 67 degrees around 4 a.m. Then we quickly roller coasted all the way up to 80 degrees around 4 p.m. into 5. So we're just sitting out from the high temperatures, though. Now it's beginning to set as that sun does to go down. 78 degrees, partly cloudy out in the airport of Tallahassee, 67-degree dew point. So that moisture has been a little up and going to the past few hours. And the reason why, of course, those dew points have been once again bumping its way up as the moisture goes once again gets into the area. To your current dew point into Tallahassee, 67 degrees. A good indicator of when that dew point gets up to that temperature, well, a lot more moisture is into the region. And once again on the coast, we have a little more moisture in Carabel at 72-degree dew point. But regardless, though, most of the region has seen a lot more cloud cover today and a couple showers actually to the west of Tallahassee. A lot of this associated cloud cover is, once again, the next cold front that will be making its way into our region and going the next few days with those rain chances also on the rise. Now, satellite radar showed quite a few showers just to the east of Tallahassee, actually a couple passing into Pensacola earlier today, but showers are not really remaining into the region today. Tomorrow and the next day, though, we'll be seeing these showers shifting more easterly into Tallahassee. And the reason why, of course, we have this another low pressure system just off the eastern coast of Texas associated with this cold front we'll be seeing that helps bring all this rain over going into the next day or two. So this is the big player. Futurecast is showing quite around the same thing. High pressure system dominating the region currently. Well, putting in the next few days, that cold front is going to shift that high pressure out with a lot of rain cover expected going to the next few days. And going to Wednesday and Thursday, well, that stationary front will once again make its way out of the region as a cold front shifts down into central and southern Florida. And with that, a lot of sunshine and much cooler temperatures on the way. So certainly something big if you're looking for that first cool down of the fall and winter. Well, it's coming for you going to Thursday. Tonight's forecast, 64 degrees in Tallahassee. Clouds, once again, like I said, going to be on the increase the next day or two. Into tomorrow as we once again warm up into the low 80s, 82 degrees expected for Tallahassee. Those rain chances right around 60%. So certainly want to bring your umbrella going the next day or two as that cold front makes its way through. 7-day forecast, though, looking at going to Tuesday is when we see that real good chance of rain, 60% chance. After that, Wednesday and Thursday, we see that cold front making its way on through and expect a gradual push out and a lot more beautiful weather ahead going to the weekend. We'll look at that temperatures dropping all the way into the mid-40s by Friday, 47 degree. So you're going to be expecting into Friday early morning. Well, however, though, Brooke, we're going to go ahead and broaden things out around southeast and tell me, how is the cold front going to be affecting us?
It's really going to be affecting us. You can see this little color code right here where it's really warm down south, and we started to get to the oranges over here in Tallahassee, Central Florida areas, and then we look up north, things are looking a little bit different. That just shows you the difference in temperatures right now. 7 degrees over in Montgomery, Alabama. They have some little sunshine peeking on through, but here in Tallahassee, those clouds have just been lingering around, and that's just going to continue to stick around. And also we're going to see a lot more rain as we move into the week, but those temperatures are going to drop for the daytime. You can get a really big indication of how much moisture is in the area with this graphic. So you see that green right there, there's just a lot of rain coming off the coast of Texas, and that's just going to make its way over through us, through that cold front, and also just drop those temperatures. So we do have some things to look forward to this week with all that rain that we're going to get tomorrow into Wednesday. So here in Tallahassee, we are seeing that moisture happening. Central Florida, not so much, but down in Miami, you guys are going to get rain right now, and that's just because of those sea breeze showers, not because of that front, but that front will also be affecting you down south in that area. But that's just going to happen for the next couple of days for this week. So our satellite and radar get a really good view of that picture right now. And for tonight's forecast, temperatures are just dropping down just a little bit, 64 degrees here in Tallahassee. So we are getting a little bit cooler this time of the year. You can definitely tell by that sun setting a lot earlier as well. It's setting around 7 o'clock instead of 8 since it's not summertime anymore. 72 degrees over in Orlando. Miami dropping down to 76. The hot spot down in the Keys at 78 degrees. So that is the place you want to go if you just want to stay warm all year round. Keys don't really see a lot of that temperature difference down there. 79 for tomorrow. We're barely even breaking 80s for most parts of Florida. Northern parts of Florida here in Tallahassee, 86 over in Orlando. So a lot of cloud coverage is what we're expecting for the next couple of days. And again, with that rain, things are really going to start to look pretty nice, right guys at the desk?
But until then, we're going to have to deal with the mugginess for a few more days. And there's this very big weather maker in the northeast.
Snow. They're getting snow, guys. I can't believe it.
Yes, snow coming from this very large low pressure system, and it's bringing winds out of the northwest from the polar area of Canada and the Arctic, and that's pushing in a lot of cold air, enough to make some snow.
So, like, is this just regular snow, or is it like lake effect kind of snow?
This is likely going to be lake effect, as the northwest wind will be blowing across the lake. So you have that lake already with the moisture and the lift that you're going to get from the cold front that's pushing through. By coincidence, that's the same cold front that's going to be giving us the cold weather. And then you have the perfect recipe for lake effect snow.
But so we won't be getting snow?
Nah, we will not be getting snow anytime soon, sadly.
That's a shame.
However, I like to, when I think of lake effect snow, I like to think of it like a sea breeze, but instead it's snow instead. Because you know how Florida, we usually get the sea breeze that rolls in. But for lake effect snow, it's obviously different because they don't really get the rain as much as they get the snow, being as it's so cold.
So it's just the colder temperatures instead of having like rain, they get snow.
Yes.
So basically, just fun for them.
Yes, and also last time it snowed was like was back in the late 1970s since it last snowed. So hopefully we see that snow this year, but history tells us that doesn't happen often, right?
Okay, well Jack can tell us more about the snow in that region with the National.
Yeah, guys, you're talking about the snow. We have some snowstorms in the area in the forecast from Minneapolis up in northern Minnesota in the next day or so. But let's take a look at those current temperatures all across the lower 48, 70 degrees in Memphis. And you can see that division line where the cold front is to the northwest. You see those cool colors in the greens and those warm colors where Atlanta is 67 degrees. In the next few days, I think that cold front will start draping through. Another good indicator is the temperature difference the last 24 hours, minus 14 degrees. It has changed in Kansas City, so you've seen where that cold front is, and you can see that straight boundary all the way from Detroit, sagging all the way across into San Antonio. And I expect San Antonio to start dropping down as we make our way into tomorrow, and our rain chances are going to start amping up tomorrow because that cold front will be bringing a lot of moisture, but the bulk of the moisture stay in the Gulf Coast, making its way towards Galveston, Texas, as my Twitter handle goes away into New Orleans as well. Got some storms also pushing through Arkansas, making its way into Memphis, also up to the Great Lakes region, into upper parts of Michigan, into northern parts of Minnesota. We have some snow and mixed rain up there, so quite the weather makers all across the area. Making our way up to the northeast, you can see some storms trying to develop, making its way into Buffalo, Syracuse as well, but right now just lingering around into Lake Erie. You can see some lake effect snow from that. Also, as we make our way into the Great Plains, some storms starting to get its act together into northern parts of Arkansas, into Little Rock. Could be on your doorstep in the next few hours, Memphis, so be wary of that. We're going to jump up into the North Dakotas and talk about what Alex Tawana were wanting, some snow up into northern parts of Minnesota, also making its way into Bismarck, North Dakota, and also making its way into South Dakota. But so light rain into Lincoln, Nebraska as well. And we make our way down into Texas, where the bulk of the storms was, into the Gulf of Mexico. Just stayed off the coast in San Antonio and Galveston, but you see a heavy storm starting to get its act together, making its way into New Orleans. Thankfully, that's died off in the past couple hours and isn't as heavy, so mainly light showers for them as we get a better look. Just the light greens in that area, and for us here in Tallahassee, staying relatively quiet. A few hit or miss showers earlier today, but I think the bulk of our storm chances will be into tomorrow's forecast. What are we expecting for tonight? 37 degrees for us here in Denver, 42 degrees in Albuquerque, 54 in San Antonio. You can see the bulk of the warmer conditions where the cold front hasn't quite reached yet. 61 in New Orleans is what we're calling for, and 64 degrees for us here in Tallahassee. Tomorrow's highs, though, Rockford, only expecting into the 50s, 54 degrees in Kansas City, and a warm 67 degrees in Memphis. Now let's swing things over to Tawana.
Ooh, thank you. Well, today, not the greatest day. The high was 80, and it was slightly muggy, but a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing for the past 2 weeks or so with those muggy and really, really hot conditions. But that rain will stay into our forecast for the next day or so, and then cool temperatures. 78 right now here in the capital city, partly cloudy, absolutely gorgeous outside. If you do decide to walk out, enjoy that little bit of drier conditions before the rain fully comes in tomorrow. Around the Big Bend region, 78, just like I said, here in Tallahassee, 80 down in St. Mark's, and then 78 in Carabel and Apalachicola. Looks like they're mimicking us over here. And it's just going to be relatively muggy conditions into tomorrow. You can see the dew point is relatively high, 67 here in Tallahassee. A little bit higher over in St. Mark's, and 72 in Carabel and Apalachicola. So that dew point, the closer it is to actual temperature, just indicates how much moisture is in the air and how muggy it's going to feel and how bad of a hair day you're going to have tomorrow, ladies. So prepare for that. You might want to just put your hair up and bring that umbrella. Maybe a hat will be pretty good for you as well. Satellite and radar around the region. Stationary front just draping across the southeast, giving us that rain impacts, giving Texas some serious storms as well. And New Orleans getting that rain as well. So, hey guys, everyone is going to be sharing in our pain across the Gulf region for the next couple of days. Futurecast shows like there's a high, just balancing in between a cold front, which is to our north, and stationary front, which is to our south. And we're going to have those partially cloudy conditions into today, and then the rain coming in tomorrow as that cold front decides to just sweep into our area and bring us that muggy conditions and just make it not so great for us. But into Wednesday afternoon, plenty of sunshine, guys. Perfect day to go out on Landis Green and just enjoy the time, just run around and frolic. It's just going to be perfect day to just enjoy the weather. And as we just move on into tonight, 65 for our low, clouds increasing, higher chance of rain. And into tomorrow, 82 for the high, 60% chance of rain. Almost half an inch possible, guys. So if you do decide to go out, make sure you have your umbrella, don't want you getting sick, and have your rain boots, because that rain is going to stick around all day. If you look into the 7-day forecast, tomorrow's the only chance of rain for the rest of the week and into the weekend. That NC State game is going to be absolutely perfect with a high of 72. That is around 3:30, so 72 at that time, not something you see in Tallahassee very often. But let's send it back to the desk with Brooke and Tyler to tell us more about what's happening.
Thanks, Tawana. And, you know, here in Florida, we don't get snow days, but Brooke, what do we usually get?
We get hurricane days down here.
Haven't had that for a while, but in China, they're actually dealing with a problem of their own, and that's, well, pollution. Schools, airports have been shut down. In fact, one whole city, Harbin, China, the 10th most populous city in that nation, shut down almost completely.
So imagine 11 million people with nothing to do and not being able to leave their houses. So.
Yeah, this wasn't just because they couldn't see 50 yards, but because pollution is so unhealthy for humans. In fact, pollution was measured by the health officials there of 1,000 micrograms per cubic meter, and the World Health Organization says that 25 micrograms per cubic meter is the suggested safe level. So definitely a dangerous situation there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be walking around the streets with all that pollution, would you?
Nope, definitely not easy to breathe. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on around Florida with Troy.
Alrighty, thank you, Tyler, and I hope everyone had a great week, and I know I did. It was just really awesome to watch our Seminoles do as well as they did. Man, what a game that was, and I hope everybody enjoyed that. But in the meantime, we're going to look ahead at temperatures across the Sunshine State. Very warm across central and southern Florida, where temperatures run in the middle to upper 80s, 84 degrees. In Orlando, a little bit warmer in West Palm Beach, 85 degrees there, and a lot cooler around the northern sections of Florida, 76 degrees in Jacksonville. And they're seeing a lot of dry weather to work with, and we had that stationary front that passing through. And a lot of this warm temperatures is the humidity levels, and dew points, remember, is a good indicator of how much moisture there is in the atmosphere, and it's also a good indicator of how just humid it is. And when you start running dew points in the 60s and 70s, when you see here, then that means that it's very, very muggy outside. And look at that, dew points running across the 70s in central and southern Florida, 74 for your dew point in Miami. Lots of moisture to work with in the atmosphere. And speaking of the moisture, we're going to show you our water vapor imagery just to give you a good idea of what's happening in the upper levels in our atmosphere. And you can see not a lot of moisture to work with right now in the central and southern Florida, but if you look closer, we do have a little bit of moisture coming into view that is associated with a cold front that will be influencing weather in the coming days. And showing you just one more time, just illustrating that where that cold front is, you see it right there along the Florida Panhandle. Showers popping up just off the coast of Pensacola, and that will be moving into our region in the coming days. And as for tomorrow is concerned, won't be the best day for any outdoor activities. Let's show you that futurecast. See that stationary front that's already passed on through to the south of us, and high pressure up to north of us is giving us good and dry weather right now, but that is going to change when that cold front passes on through. Coming into Tuesday, that cold front will advance towards our region, and that will bring the threat for showers. So once again, if you're going outside or have any outdoor activity plans, you're going to want to have that umbrella, or as Tawana mentioned earlier, have those rain boots, because it's going to be looking to be a very unsettled day. And extend out towards Tuesday, once that front passes on through, good conditions are in store for us. You know what that means. Fall-like weather, high pressure begin to build in, and that will bring cooler and refreshing temperatures. So that is something that is really good to hear this time of year. You know, just dealing with that rain tomorrow, I promise you, you will get through it, folks. Better days are ahead of us. But in the meantime, we're going to advance towards Florida. There's showers around the Orlando region, so hopefully you have your umbrella for that. But we're going to look ahead at tonight's temperatures in the 70s. For tonight's a little bit cooler off towards Florida, 64 degrees in there, so very cool night ahead. Tomorrow's forecast, more warmth in store for us with temperatures in the 80s. Once again, for those of you in North Florida, make sure you have that umbrella for any rain chances. But let's shift it out towards the tropics with, Alex. And Alex, I understand we have a little critter out there in the Atlantic.
Yes, it is a critter, nothing in the way of any threat for our area. You don't even see it highlighted yet because it's such a small threat. Just kidding. It's just recently formed into a tropical storm earlier today. It is Tropical Storm Lorenzo. I'm going to get to that in just a bit. But climatology for this month of October, what do we have for hurricanes? They usually form anywhere in the western Atlantic or the Gulf of Mexico, and they tend to follow the direction of where the Gulf Stream heads. That's a very warm ocean current, and that's where those hurricanes like to form at this time of year, as those are the more warm naturally occurring waters at this time of year. So tropics, we do have a bit of the disturbance over here associated with this cold front, a stationary front, not way not in the way of any threat, but this right here is Tropical Storm Lorenzo. You can start to see this little spin. It's getting a little more organized, but as you can see, it's very far away and not moving towards our area. Right now, it has winds at 40 miles an hour with a pressure at 1,008 millibars, so a very, very weak tropical storm. Nonetheless, it is something we should be keeping our eyes on. However, it will continue to be pushing towards the east-northeast and maybe slightly strengthen, but we're not going to see anything in the way of any hurricane. So it looks like that hurricane number at 2 for this season is going to stay that way. However, in the the eastern Pacific, we have a much bigger, stronger storm. This is Hurricane Raymond, a Category 3, first Category 3 storm of the Eastern Pacific season, actually the first Category 3 of the entire Western Hemisphere, so quite a rare occurrence, and you can see it's very slow right now, slowly moving in towards Mexico, but it's not even going to make landfall as it is going to be pushing off towards the west. Watch as I get out of the way, and you can see the storm right now, and 125 miles an hour is its strength, and as I put this into motion, it is going to move very slowly towards the coast and then have a rapid turn all of a sudden to the west and continue to push off as it goes into the colder waters and weakens into a tropical storm and then depression. Nonetheless, it is still a very powerful storm, so hopefully our folks down there in Mexico are prepared because no doubt the waters are being churned up really high for this system. Now let's take it back onto our neck of the woods where you can see a lot of rainfall and clouds associated with the stationary front. You've noticed throughout the day that the clouds have become more apparent for the coming days, and those are going to continue to push down. The rainfall is going to continue to increase. The rain threat, as Tawana said, will increase tomorrow. However, that will be nice and pleasant after the rainfall has moved out of our area. Tonight's forecast calling for 64 degrees in Tallahassee, 62 in Valdosta, cooler up north as that is where the cold front is, And tomorrow's forecast calling for a nice cool 79 degrees. However, those clouds will continue to block us from the sun, keeping us cooler, keeping us a little more humid with that rainfall. But that looks like it's about to be it. Any other hurricane news, guys?
Don't got any news to tell you from the tropics other than what Alex just told us, but let's go ahead and review it.
All right, well, Alex was just telling us a brief description about Hurricane Raymond that formed overnight.
That's right, very quickly. How quickly did it form?
In 24 hours, that's how fast it formed.
Tropical storm to major hurricane, right?
Exactly, so it picked up over 70-mile-per-hour winds overnight, basically. So.
Pretty amazing stuff, and not amazing in the sense that, well, it's going to be pretty detrimental for the folks there. In fact, going to give them some heavy rain. As Alex showed, it's not going to really make landfall, but it's going to be erratically moving around and giving them plenty of rain, and that's not good news.
No, it's not, but we've experienced that before, that outflow of just that rain from the storm. We haven't really seen any major hurricanes this year, except in the east. Well, this is the first one in the Eastern Pacific.
That's right.
Since 2000, yeah.
And this is the first year since 1968 that both the Eastern Pacific and the Atlantic went into October without seeing a major hurricane.
Good job, guys. We're just gonna
making history.
Exactly.
But let's go ahead and take a look at your local forecast. No hurricanes to deal with locally, but we do have some clouds filtering into the region and a little bit of shower activity, but not a whole lot going on today. Everything mostly to the west out by the Apalachicola River this afternoon. That'll change a little bit in the form of some increased shower activity closer to home tonight and into the day tomorrow. We're going to see that as our frontal system gets a little bit closer. High temperature today was 80 degrees and another morning well above average, 67 degrees for the morning low. And I'll tell you what, we've only had one day overall this month with below normal temperatures. That's going to change in a hurry as we go toward the latter part of the week. Currently right now, we're anything but cool, everything humid. 78 degrees is the current temperature out there. 67 degrees is the dew point. In other words, it's very humid. It doesn't feel like October out there, but as I said, just hold on, buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be a cool ride as we go toward the latter part of the week. 76 right now in Monticello, 73 in Quincy and in Bainbridge. Cooler to the west as they're a little bit closer to the front and really the rain as well. And that's going to be, again, moving into our area as we go into tomorrow. And for that matter, tonight, we'll see a few more showers. I mentioned the dew points. The reason I'm showing you again this graphic is because we have so much moisture at the low levels of the surface of the atmosphere. As you walk out the door, it feels sticky. That's going to change as that front finally moves through Wednesday into Thursday. Wednesday will be more our transition day, so give it another 48 hours and you'll really notice a difference in the air. Northerly winds coming in very lightly across the region. But still, overall, we're in a humid, soupy air mass because of all this moisture that's well to our west, especially New Orleans, back over to Tennessee, Texas. Excuse me, we have all this moisture conveyor belt moving in from the southwest, going toward the northeast, all because of a frontal system that's moving through the country, and it's giving some snow to portions of the upper Midwest, so you know it's a pretty cold Canadian air mass. But for the next couple of days, we have a dying stationary front that moved through a couple of days ago. High pressure is moving out and cold front's getting closer, so we're getting increased rain chances for the day on Tuesday. So we have a pretty good chance as we go into Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the sun comes out and the temperatures actually begin to drop here across the Big Bend area. Let's take a look at that forecast for tonight. Again, pretty muggy out there, not exactly very comfortable. Temperatures in the mid-range of the 60s, 65 degrees, clouds increasing, about a 30% chance of rain. And for tomorrow, we're talking highs in the low 80s. That rainfall chance, again, increasing across the region. Could see a half an inch of rain possibly across the area. And that 7-day forecast once again shows, well, we zip past it, but temperatures, I can tell you, will be very comfortable as we go toward the end of the week and into the weekend. Temperatures will be in the 40s in the morning hours. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast again in just a few seconds.
So what was last night that happened?
Last night we had a meteor shower, right?
Did we? Did you see it?
I did see it, and I saw one about a week ago. Just a quick shooting star. Wasn't even trying to see it.
You are the only person who saw that, so there's no verification. He is lying, everybody. He did not see that star.
Calling me a liar.
That's exactly But if there was a lot of cloud coverage out there, you couldn't really see it. So areas that didn't see a lot of clouds could see the star.
I really did see the one last week, though. So I really
Did
saw
you make
it.
a wish?
Of course.
What'd you wish for?
I closed my eyes while I was driving while I saw it, and I made a wish.
Look, your wish came true. Lower temperatures. We're
My
gonna
wish,
hit
the 7-day
40s.
forecast is here.
There it
Temperatures
is.
in the low 70s for highs.
The 40s.
In
For
the
the evening temperature. So that's a really big break from that hot humidity that we've been seeing for the past couple of days and weeks, right?
I'm looking forward to that. No rain chances after tomorrow, so things are definitely going to be getting more comfortable around here.
Things are looking great, but if you really want to stay tuned to our forecast, watch us on FSU Weather Live.
Yep, we're not liars, I promise. Watch us anytime on livestream.com/FSU Weather, and you can always send us an email or send us your picture. Well, we hope you have a great night. Stay dry. I'm student meteorologist Tyler Allen.
And I'm student meteorologist Brooke Soaring. Have a great evening.